Dinger Bats is a baseball staple here in Southern Illinois. Players of all ages across the region use these bats, including the Thrillville Thrillbillies, as well as high school and junior high players. Some of the best and brightest stars in Major League Baseball use their wooden bats, and they're handmade right in our backyard. Ridgway, Illinois, the popcorn capital of the world. But these days, the pop comes from baseball bats.
I think we turned our first bat 21 years ago, and there's been a lot of ups and downs along the way, but here we are.
Outside, the Dinger Bats warehouse may not look like much, but just a few steps through the door, it's a world of craftsmanship. CEO Kyle Drone got the idea to make bats during his time as a bullpen catcher for the AA Cubs in Jackson, Tennessee. The players he worked with complained about the quality of their bats, so he took matters into his own hands.
I kind of came up with an idea and pitched it to some of the guys. As if I made some bats, would you try them out? And they said they'd try anything at this point, and so I called Dad the next day and kind of pitched it to him.
But it just gives it a little bit more of a finished look on the end.
Kyle's dad, Randy, has a countertop business and has worked with wood his whole life, but not with baseball bats, so he took his best swing.
Every time I was out on a job, some obscure place, I would see an article about the quality of bats after he mentioned that. And it was just one thing led to another, so I just ordered a lathe, and that's basically our business plan. Just he wanted to go into bat business, and that was enough for me, so we started, and here we are today.
21 years later, a college dream is now Drone's living. Dinger sells 30,000 bats a year, and players like Kyle Schwarber and Jazz Chisholm sport their bats on the Major League diamond.
It's kind of a running joke that some of my buddies coached or played never made it to the big leagues, and we did. So, you know, we kind of give each other a little grief over that. But yeah, I mean, the intention was to try to make the best bat possible and get some of these guys taken care of.
With every generation comes change. Today's baseball players are flashier. Kyle Drone's creative side separates Dinger Bats from the rest.
Once we got into it and realized that it was pretty cool to do, it's really gone well. Pink has been huge this year, let's put it.
Like many small businesses, Dinger Bats is still recovering from the pandemic, but Drone is hopeful that the company will only continue to grow in the years to come.
I mean, the sky's the limit, really. I mean, I think we're only touching on a little bit of what we can potentially be.
Now, Kyle mentioned that pink was popular this year. It also happens to be my favorite color, and Dinger Bats was kind enough to make me this custom bat. They absolutely crushed it. A big thank you to Kyle and Randy for letting us visit, and something to keep an eye on this fall. All of the SIFL players this season are using Dinger Bats. That'll do for sports here on News 3 at 5.